Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundhati Ramnan and with me as always, Shruti Mishra. These are the top headlines from the startup world. Manipal Group offers to invest 1,000 crore rupees into API Holdings, the owner of Thyrocare and Farm Easy. Sources say Manipal is eyeing 18% shareholding and a board seat. That's another exclusive.
Union Cabinet approves the data protection bill. The bill is aimed at safeguarding personal data and is likely to be introduced in the upcoming monsoon session of the Parliament.
Jiva Jewelry raises 200 crore rupees in the Series B funding round led by Premji Invest. The round also saw participation from existing investors Aditya Birla Ventures, Ulterior Capital and A91 Partners. The jewelry maker also conducted a secondary sale transaction worth 70 crore rupees.
E-commerce major Amazon is set to surpass $8 billion in cumulative exports from India by the end of 2023. 25 cities in the country saw cumulative exports cross $10 million last year.
Telecom and media firm Quebecor will pull its ads from Facebook and Instagram following Meta's decision to stop access to news on both the social media platforms in Canada over a law requiring payments to local news publishers.
Those are the headlines we've been tracking for you this evening. Ready-to-cook brand ID Fresh Food, best known for getting South Indian breakfast to every household, has now launched ID Squeeze and Fry Vada Batter 2.0. Now, the upgraded version boasts of a new packaging that allows consumers to customize the vada batter. To tell us how the product is set to create a new benchmark in the food industry and to also talk to us about the road ahead at ID Fresh Food, joining me now is its co-founder and CEO, PC Mustafa. Mustafa, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today. Now, you launched your Vada Batter in 2018. So tell us what is unique about ID's Vada Batter 2.0. Also talk to us about the innovative packaging that you claim enhances customer experience and helps make vada according to one's personal taste.
Thank you for this opportunity. So Vada 1.0, which was done in first version of Vada, which was launched in 2018, had solved one important problem, which was making vada at home, untouched by hand. And the most important thing for the vada, as we all know, is the hole.
Yes.
Right? We Indians don't eat a vada without a hole. And getting the hole right for the vada was one of the most difficult issue for every customer. We worked on it to create a packaging solution wherein batter comes in a packaging. When you squeeze the vada pack, you get the vada out in the right shape.
Okay.
The perfect round hole in the middle. And that took us almost 3 years to crack it. And that was version 1. After launching Vada version 1 in 2018, we started getting a lot of customer position. In fact, our Vada video went viral across the world. We started getting requests from different parts of the world to create the same thing for donuts as well.
Okay.
We started listening to customers. We understand, customer feedbacks. We took that very seriously. And one of the concerns from the customer was that they were not able to add the masala into the vada. Vada without the flavors, without adding their favorite masala, it is a plain taste.
Okay.
And that's when we started working on it. And we also started working on improved cutter for the packaging as well for the vada. And most importantly, this was a plastic piece.
Sure.
And customers felt it is better that if they can add their vada batter at a later stage. So we worked on it for almost 5 years, the last 5 years, and launched Vada version 2 just a few days ago. And this comes with 3 important features. 1, make your vada your way. And in fact, your caption itself is your vada, your veda. Right? You can add your masala and mix it properly and make your vada. Second, it comes with a better cutter, so that the problems that we had faced earlier with respect to the shape of the vada sometimes not coming out, those issues got fixed. And the third one is that we made this a resealable and reusable packaging.
Okay.
So that you don't have to buy ID Vada Batter every time. You can buy it once and customers can use it multiple times by refilling their Vada Batter.
All right. So Batter 2.0 is all about customization. And I believe the product is currently available only in Bangalore. So how soon do you plan to have a pan-India presence and how competitively have you priced the product?
So we started in Bangalore and initial response is pretty good. So soon it will be available. It will be made available in key markets for ID, which is Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, and Delhi, and UAE. That's the immediate plan to make this product available. In terms of the pricing, we priced at around 80 rupees, which is close to around 6 rupees on an average per vada.
Okay. Also, Mustafa, tell us, what are your top selling categories and products? And if you could also talk to us about what's next. Any new offerings in the pipeline? You mentioned customer feedback was all about donuts. So are donuts in the pipeline? But if you could take us through your
Of course, we're working on that as well. We might be able to crack it one day in future.
Okay.
But having, keeping that as a part, your question about the categories, our number one category is batter. And then comes paratha and paneer, curd, coffee. That's our top selling SKUs.
Yeah. And what's in the pipeline? Fulkas, fruit blends, ghee. What's next?
Yes. So there are many products in pipeline. In fact, we're actually working on 9 new products to be launched very soon. In which, as you mentioned, fulka is something which we're working on. We just launched bread in the market, in Bangalore market, which is a clean label bread that we launched without any preservatives, without an E number on it, all clean ingredients. And that we are seeing some good traction in some limited stores in Bangalore.
Okay. Quickly.
Hopefully, we will expand that distribution across all the ID universe. And we are also working on, as you mentioned, a few other products which are very, very innovative and make a difference in the world.
One final question, and if you could answer that quickly, talk to us about the growth numbers that you're looking like. Are you profitable today? If you could also talk about the revenue targets for the next fiscal and the opening of the manufacturing unit in Hyderabad, with the upcoming unit, what kind of capacities are we talking about and what is the kind of impact it will have on revenues?
So the growth this year, we are looking at close to a 40% growth. And Q1 seems to be doing well for us. We should be able to live up to the expectation. In terms of the profitability, yes, we are a profitable business. And in terms of the new plan that we're starting in Hyderabad, we had started a plan in Hyderabad almost 8 years ago, and that is running out of capacity. So we are building, almost triple the capacity, which will be sufficient for the next couple of years.
Okay. All right, Mustafa, we've completely run out of time, but many thanks for joining us on Startup Street. It was a pleasure talking to you and wish you the very best with the new product and also your expansion targets. Thank you so much.
You must try my vada your way.
Well, definitely.
Thank you.
Shruti, I must say, actually, he made such a valid point. I don't know if you've ever tried to make a vada, but trying to get that hole in the middle is the hardest part.
Yes.
I'm so excited to try this out. So lots of new exciting offerings there from ID.
Absolutely, Aru. Absolutely.
But moving on, Amazon is set to surpass $8 billion in cumulative exports from India by the end of 2023. The e-commerce major in its latest Export Digest report said it has reached 1.25 lakh exporters through Amazon Global selling since inception. My colleague Aishwarya Anand speaks to Bhupen Wakankar, the Director of Global Trade at Amazon India, to find out the key highlights from the report. Take a look.
Bhupen, my first question to you is that, in India, MSMEs contribute to close to 30% of our GDP, right? And 50% of the total exports. Now, Amazon launched in 2015 the e-commerce export program called Global Selling, correct? Where I think you've supported over 1 lakh exporters till now. So cut to 2023, I want to understand how has the momentum been?
In 2022, we had said that since it's starting from 2015, Amazon Global Selling had done $5 billion in cumulative exports. And we have about 1 lakh sellers who have sort of availed the benefits of this program. So I'm very happy to report now that, by the end of this year, we will be crossing $8 billion in cumulative exports, right? And we'll have 1.25 lakh exporters who have sort of benefited from using this platform, right? So just to put that in perspective, the first 5 billion took us about 7 years, but the next 3 billion we are able to do a little over a year and a half.
Export Digest report, you've also mentioned that more than 1,200 Indian exporters on the Global Selling program have crossed 1 crore in sales in 2022. So I want to understand which Indian states, have been driving this growth. If you could also shed some light on what kind of businesses these exporters have clogged and what is the Bharat market representation here?
We have about 25 cities. If you just look at all the sellers from these 25 cities, cumulatively, 25 cities have crossed $10 million in exports in the last 1 year. And I can start naming a few districts, for example, that you would traditionally not think would be at the top of e-commerce list, but they are actually taking the mantle in a very big way. Haridwar in Uttarakhand, for example, or Sriganganagar in Rajasthan, right? Or Neemuch in Indore, which is really picking this up in a big way. Of course, the states that have the larger GDP tend to have overrepresentation, so Maharashtra, Gujarat, the NCR region, and so on. But we are seeing, like I mentioned, like Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, like we are starting to see exporters coming from all parts of the country.
Which have been the top growth categories and products for Amazon in 2023? And going forward, which emerging categories do you feel will further propel this growth?
So we see categories that traditionally you would have not thought as India's strengths are also emerging in a very big way. So for example, India does really well in textiles and home and kitchen and that category.
Correct.
But what we are starting to see is categories such as toys. Indian exporters are doing really, really well. And they are coming from, again, all parts of the country. Right? Categories such as Ayurveda medicine, which you traditionally would have thought would be very localized to India domestic business. But we are starting to see like a lot of interest in other marketplaces for that type of herbal products, or if you talk about skincare products that are based on more sort of Ayurveda style preparation.
While we've spoken about the categories now, the report has also highlighted that close to 226 million made in India products have been sold internationally, have been exported internationally. So take us through which have been the top international marketplaces for Indian exporters in 2023, and which are the emerging countries that will become the top marketplaces for the Indian exporters?
I think I would probably bucket it in two categories, right? We have what I would like to call just as established marketplaces, which is the traditional ones that India has sort of done deep trade with, like US, UK, or the EU4 countries, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. So those remain sort of a large center as it is, and they are actually growing quite well. But what has happened in the last sort of 12 to 18 months is countries such as UAE in MENA, or Australia, or even Japan for that matter, right? These are sort of emerging as a larger sort of growth area for Indian exporters.
One final question. Now that we've spoken about the exporters, let's also put a little bit of focus on the startups, right? You launched Propel Accelerator program to take D2C startups in India to get that foothold in international markets. Now you're well into the season 3 of the Accelerator program. So tell me, how many startups are you planning to onboard, and what kind of support are you providing them?
We are actually expanding the program. So as you may recall, Propel Season 2, we only had about 15 finalists in our thing. This time, we are cognizant that we got over 1,000 applications from over 100 cities in the country, right? So we have expanded the cohort to about 50 players, right? So 50 D2C startups will be part of Propel Season 3. So that's almost a 3x, or more than 3x lift from last year. We were working with 4 VC firms last time.
Correct.
We have 6 VC firms included this year, including we have actually two firms, Club and Velocity, who are doing revenue-based financing. So these are debt. So they are debt instruments also being available, not just equity instruments. The third aspect is we are actually including 1 year of account management and logistics support for these startups.
All right. It is now time for us to take a short break. But up next, Utsava gets 2 crore rupees in the seed funding round. How the company plans to deploy their funds, key offerings, and much more. We will find out when we return.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Utsava app, an app focused on the spiritual and devotional needs of Indian users, has picked up 2 crore rupees in a seed funding round led by India Quotient. In December of 2021, Utsava app raised its maiden funding led by 100x.vc. Additionally, the app has been funded by angel investors like Divyanshu Tambe and Vikrant Gandhi. The fresh proceeds will be deployed towards association with more religious organizations and set up operations in multiple geographies. Utsava, and joining me now to discuss this further are Saurajit Basu, the co-founder and CEO of Utsava app, and Ninad Karpe, the partner at 100x.vc. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Saurajit, let me come to you first. You're a community-led marketplace for faith and divinity focused on solving problems closest to Bharat. What is it that you're exactly solving for? Give us some use cases.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I think over the past 1.5 years, Utsava has been trying to solve a very Bharat-focused problem. Every Indian, right, they have a place for their religion, their spirituality at some part of their heart. And I think Utsava has been just trying to enhance that and fulfill those spiritual aspirations. How we work, we currently focus on, collaborating with different religious organizations or the priests from those places and help them create a digital portfolio for themselves. It can start with providing information online, at the same time providing its the religious services that their devotees from across India at this point can avail them online, right? Just by sitting at their homes. So anybody, let's say they had a plan of visiting a particular temple, or maybe they just wanted to offer a puja at some place, they might have had that that wish for a long time. Utsava just simply helps them fulfill all those needs.
All right, an interesting app there. But Ninad, what were the synergies you see with Utsava app? Why did you decide to invest in this startup? Tell us the rationale.
Reasons, I'll be brief. Is it a large market? The answer is yes. It's a $50 billion market known as target. Is there a need? The answer is yes. Every individual in India has an emotional need. Is the divinity market growing? Broadly, I call it divinity. Yes, it is growing year on year. They are tapping unmet kind of market which has got a lot of demand, unmet need, and it's just going to keep growing. So we had faith in the fact that this divinity market is grow and they have the right product at the right time.
Right, we had faith in the faith and the right product at the right time. But Saurajit, you've raised about 2 crore rupees. What do you need the funds for? Talk to us about, like he said, it's a huge market. So how big of an opportunity is this really? And what's the demand that you're seeing?
Very happy to say over the past 2-3 months, we have been seeing close to about 80-90% growth in terms of a month-on-month customers and the user base rise. As the number of customers have kept on growing, we have been having a very good problem, which is solving and setting up the operations at all these places, right? Our team has been quite overloaded, but we are very happy that this thing has been happening. So with this new funds, we are essentially planning to improve upon our customer experience, delivering them the customer services at the earliest possible, improving upon our delivery time, and at the same time expanding to newer geographies. So currently, most of our operation is based around eastern, western, and northern belt of India. We definitely look a big market in the southern Indian states as well. So over there also, we are looking to make our presence felt.
Right. And Saurajit, tell me quickly about your revenue model. What are the revenues so far? Where will you see the next leg of growth coming from? Any new offerings that you're planning to launch?
Absolutely no. So over the past around 9 months, we have been working mostly based on one revenue model, which has been helping the different temples and religious organizations whom we have collaborated with by providing them an opportunity to reach out to their devotees online. So anybody, let's say, who wants to offer a puja at a particular temple, where it might be the Kuldevi, it might be the place of worship they had tried to visit for quite some years now, they can make a booking via the application. We take care of the entire end-to-end operation, starting from helping the temple get those data points, getting them perform the rituals, whatever is required. Then at the end, it closes by delivering of any proceeds. For example, it might be some prasad or anything to the devotee's doorstep. And this entire process we try to complete at the earliest possible. This we have been doing. And for obviously doing this, we have our particular share of the customer's payment. And obviously over the next few years, we definitely look to grow it as much as possible.
And where are the revenues currently at?
Sorry, I could not hear you.
And where are the revenues currently at? What's the growth?
So for example, in the last financial year, we had close to about 1 crore of revenue. And this year we are almost, it's been around 1 quarter over here. and we have almost closed in on that. So over this financial, we have at least looked to be around 3 to 4x of last year.
All right. And Nina, if you could quickly tell us, last question to you, talk to us about where the next big opportunity lies in the startup sector in India. What are the big themes that you're betting on?
I think sorry, please.
Yeah, so divinity is a big sector, which of course is with Utsava. But other than that, we fund early stage startups from agri-tech to deep tech. We are looking at all opportunities. So these are some of the ones which we are trying to focus on all the time.
All right, Nina, Saurajit, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, but we're completely out of time.
Thank you. Thank you for calling us.
All right, moving on. The Ayurveda Co., a D2C omni-channel Ayurvedic lifestyle brand, is looking to raise $25 to $30 million by the end of this year. Param Bhargava, the co-founder and CEO of the company, told Aishwarya Anand that they plan to use the funds for innovation and offline expansion. He added that they plan to open 2 new stores in Dubai before Diwali this year and will add 1,500 beauty advisor counters this year. Now, remember, the company had raised 100 crores in March in a Series A round. Here's a slice of that conversation. Listen in.
You raised in March 100 crores for your Series A round. You're planning another round. Is it going to be part of the Series A round only? And by when? How much are you planning to raise on that round? And by when can we expect you to close it?
Out of 100 crores, we raised 70 odd crores in equity and 30 crores in debt. We expect to add around 25 to 30 million dollars.
Okay.
After 2 quarters. So before ending of this current financial year, we would be closing out the round. Because of the traction which we are deploying and we are showing, we have attractive, good set of investors coming inbound. So the maximum deployment of our current round is going into first innovating new products which benchmark with the global, BPC giants of the world and give a global product appeal to Ayurveda. Then how do we deploy our supply chains both for India as well as the entire global markets? And then also how do we go nearer to the consumers by expanding our footprint through multiple touch points.
Take us through how many SKUs do you have currently, and you've just mentioned that you want to expand the category and you're opening more stores as well. So give us a sense of what are these products that we're talking about, which categories are you expanding into?
So overall portfolio size right now is 130 plus products, which are spread across skin, hair, Ayurvedic makeup, health and wellness, sexual wellness, and baby. These are our larger categories which we operate in. We have a bouquet of portfolio within Kumkumadi. It has an oil, it has a face wash, it has a scrub, and multiple other products within the Kumkumadi range. Those are our hero SKUs. We 40-50% of our revenue comes in from our hero category. We have expanded in that category by adding multiple products within Kumkumadi. But now gradually we are also expanding into vertical different categories within Ayurveda. So gradually next 3 years we'll see our evolution into a go-to shop for Ayurveda other than the FMCG category for the time being for first 2 to 3 years. We would be a BPC plus HPC portfolio.
Okay. And on the omni-channel presence, take me through how many stores do you have currently and what is the expansion there looking like?
So in omni-channel, we sell across all our online channels like Amazon, Flipkart, Nykaa. We have a strong D2C channel also, our own website, theayurvedaco.com. We also have 18 of our own smaller setups, which are the kiosk models in top malls of the country. Our first exclusive full-stack business outlet is coming in Phoenix Citadel Mall, opening on 5th of July. We will add 25 more EBOs this year. We would also partner in more people who are joining in our mission to take Ayurveda global as our franchisee partners. Other than that, we run close to 600 beauty advisor counters, which are in top general trade and modern trade A+ beauty counters in the country. These 600 counters are present, and we would add another 1,500 counters this year. So we would run close to 2,000 beauty advisor counters in India. Along with this, we have also expanded our international sales, right? So we are also opening 2 stores in Dubai before Diwali this year. along with 100 plus beauty advisor counters in Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Okay. What does your demography look like, and what is the Bharat market story for a company like yours?
Almost 70% of our consumers fall in this 18 to 35 of the bracket. 44% of the current revenue has started coming in from tier 2, tier 3. The west and central zone is performing much better than the other markets, and specifically in tier 2, tier 3. We are doubling down on our marketing investments in these zones.
The Ayurveda Co claims to have grown over 300% in the last 10 months, correct? Where you're clocking a revenue of rupees 50 crores in FY23. So tell me, what does, what have been the growth factors for the company? What does FY24 look like, and what is the path to profitability?
This year, we expect to deliver a revenue of around 150 to 175 crores. This month we expect to close upwards of 9 CR in business. We expect to, on a monthly revenue run rate, double down after Diwali and close the year by 150 to 175 crore. That's where we are hitting. We are not excessively bleeding at the moment. We are hovering around minus, we have already able to bring it down to minus 20% now. And by the end of this year, we tend to become break even. And by Diwali of FY25, we would be profitable.
So that's the Ayurveda company there outlining their road to profitability. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. From Shruti and me, goodbye and many thanks for watching. More news and updates continue on the other side.